the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Now, the Senate has resolved into committee of the whole to continue with the screening. Well, screening of nominees are done in committee session, but then in this case, it is now in committee of the whole. This is because it's such nominations are at the committee of the whole house. That's why it's called committee of the whole. All the committees of the Senate put together are sitting in chamber to consider this motion. And so that is why when the Senate President now takes his seat, he becomes chairman of the Committee of the Whole. He's no longer addressed as president, he's addressed as chairman of the Committee of the Whole because the head of a committee is a chairman. And that is why after the screening, the Senate President will now have to go up, take his seat as the president to now consider the screening that the legislators have done during the Committee of the Whole. So at the moment, the Senate President has now taken his seat as the chairman of all the committee, that is Committee of the Whole, set and ready for the commencement of the screening of the three nominees.
Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting in the chair. Secondly, I want to move my second motion. I move that the Senate do admit the nominees, House of Representatives members, former senators, and other government officials to the Senate chamber. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sitting as the chair, I support and second the motion being moved by the majority leader.
Those in favor of the prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Sergeant at Arms.
Now the Senate has moved a motion to usher in the next nominee for screening, Saleh Maman from Taraba State. Senate leader moved that motion and it was seconded by the Senate minority leader. Now the next nominee from Taraba State is being led into the chamber by the Senior Special Assistant to the President to Legislative Matters, Senate, Ita Enang. Well, this is coming to the last lap of this screening, and it's been a continuous exercise in the last 5 days. And then here he comes to check the usual parliamentary rituals of bowing to the maize. Engineer Saleh Maman from Taraba State currently works at the Agricultural Extension and Rural Development, Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. He is an expert and research fellow in agricultural plant science, food science, and animal science. He is the first nominee to face the Senate today in this last lap of the screening of ministerial nominees.
Distinguished colleagues, in continuation with our screening exercise of the ministerial nominees, this morning we'll start with the engineer Saleh Mamman, the nominee from Taraba State. Mr. Nominee, on behalf of all my colleagues here, I want to welcome you to the Senate chamber, and we are already in receipt of the copies of your CV. You can choose to highlight anything you feel the Senate needs to take note of, and should you have omitted anything that you feel is of significance and consequence for this exercise, you could also highlight that. Once again, you are welcome, and you can speak and address the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The President of the Senate, Deputy President of the Senate, Principal Officers, distinguished Senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senators from my states, led by distinguished Senator Emmanuel, distinguished Senator Yusuf, distinguished Senator Shaibu Isalau, and let me also identify and extend my gratitude to one of the senators who is also my former boss and my friend, of which I served and was a consultant under one of his businesses, that is engineering, Dr. Udo Jikalu, and one or two senators that I work under them. Those people are detribalized people that I can testify before this honorable Hello Chambers. Let me also recognize the presence of my state chairman and his executive.
Engineer,
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
leave out your state chairman and his executive. You came along with them. Just address the Senate.
With due respect, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm very happy to be here, to be honored, with great privilege to appear before the distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a ministerial nominee. Permit me also to extend my sincere gratitude to the President and the administration of Muhammadu Buhari Permit me also to extend my gratitude to the President of the Senate, the senators, for appearing before the distinguished senators for clearance. Both privileges I appreciate and I will cherish forever. Distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my CV is before you. All my dossier and my political antecedents is here before you. Nevertheless, let me just seize that little opportunity to also highlight a little bit about myself. My name is Engineer Salim Mamman. I was born there 1958, 2nd October, in a village called Lau, local government. And I grew up in Jalingo. I started my education career in Kano. I am an electrical engineer by profession. I started from the scratch. I started from Technical and Vocational Training School and graduated as an artisan, moved to Technical College and graduated as a technician, moved to Polytechnic and also graduated as technologist and graduated as a potential engineer. In addition, I also read management course where I graduated and specialized in human resources, master's degree in human resources. My working experience, I worked with the Taraba State government for almost 21 years and retired as Assistant Director, stroke, Head of Design and Construction. My political antecedents include pioneer chairman of the Fund CPC, which now metamorphosed into APC. And I also contested for Senate 2015. I lost. I was a member 2015 Presidential Campaign Council under field operation. Also a member Congress committee that conducts congresses that produce 2015 sets in Niger State. Also a member in Kaduna State Congress Committee. I'm also a member of Buhari Support Organization. Also a returning officer 2019 presidential election. Also a member National Committee for Buhari Support Organization, an organization out of the chapter of which President Senate was. We worked together. He was our sponsor then. So many. Yeah. I'm also a member of, a coordinator, a state coordinator, also a member of Buhari Support Organization. And those are my political antecedents. I think I will stop here, sir.
Chief Whip.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting as chair. I would like to urge my colleagues Engineer Maman is not a very good orator, but he's a good staff to do the job. Good worker. He's a good worker. He's not a very good person you want to come here and mesmerize you and tell you all kinds of stories. I've worked with him in the engineering field, and I believe. No, I'm just trying to say, because you might see him having stage fright also. He's not a very good speaker. I'm addressing you, I'm trying to. Please, order.
Use your power.
So, Engineer Sale is not somebody you come here and put questions and allow him to showcase skill of talking. This guy is a proper engineer, and I will urge my colleagues he has been a very good supporter. Even when I was in PDP, he used to preach for me for President Buhari. He has been a very good supporter of President Buhari. He used to take transport from Taraba to come and see me in Abia, to come and sell the candidacy of President Buhari to me. And I mean, this is 1999. I'm sure Chief Theology, the Senator Theology, also knows him very well. So he's somebody we cannot waste his time. He's somebody I'd like to urge my colleagues. I would like to urge my colleagues to please to allow the ministerial nominee from Taraba to take a bow and go.
DSP.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ovie Omo Agege, Delta Central Senatorial District. Mr. President,
Order.
I rise to align myself in so many ways with the Chief Whip of the Senate. Mr. President, first I want to thank Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for this nomination. And thereafter, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Engineer Sale Maman. Mr. President, even the Bible recognizes that a laborer is entitled to his wages. I have known Engineer Sale for so many years. Just as alluded by the Chief Whip, this is one very loyal, very loyal supporter of President Muhammadu Buhari. And that support did not begin today. Mr. President, I had the opportunity yesterday while chatting with some top people to say that the cabinet, the list of people forwarded to the Senate for confirmation for membership of the Federal Executive Council, you can actually describe it as a cabinet of true believers. Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari is entitled to work with the people of his choice. Elections, we are told, has consequences. He has elected to appoint Engineer Sale as a minister. Like I said, this may not be his best moment. I have interacted with him severally. We have worked together, even in the National Committee on Buhari Support Group. I know that Engineer Sale will add value to deliberations in the Federal Executive Council. And finally, Mr. President, there's so much fatigue here already. We've been on this nomination before how many days now? People are already tired. Are we not tired? We are tired. So therefore, Mr. President, I'm going to appeal that we allow Engineer Saleh, maybe subject to comments by people from his home state, to take a bow and go. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Theodore Oji, Uchendu, Global.
Your Excellency, our President in chair, very, very distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator T.A. Oji Uchendu. Well, what will I say? Is to align myself with what my colleagues have said.
Exactly.
The Chief Whip mentioned my name. I wouldn't deny that. I know him very well.
Exactly.
Will I come now and say I don't know him? He will perform when he goes there.
Exactly. DSP to approve the motion.
Therefore, I will say that he should take a bow and decide to stay or go. Thank you, sir.
Senator Mohamed Njumogoji.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Mohammed Njumogoji, representing Gombe Central. My own is just to first associate myself with the previous speakers and thank you, Mr. President, for picking this very special professional. And going by CV as an engineer, Mr. President has made a good choice because he has come from a place that is the most inaccessible part of Nigeria. Roads leading to Jalingo from all sections of the country are very, very bad. And he's the right man. If you are lucky, maybe you go to Ministry of Works. And if you go to Ministry of Works, as somebody who knows how to live in a very inaccessible area, how do you think we will solve the problem of road network in Nigeria? Thank you.
You can respond.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, distinguished Senator. As a former sectional head of electrical design and construction under Ministry of Works, what I used to know, when this type of issue erupts, we usually come together, a team of engineers, electrical engineer, structural engineer, quantity surveyor, architects, sit together and now put down the problem before the committee, and now discuss also and seek advice from the civil engineer who is the professional and then his field. And I believe at the end of the day we share the resolution and then maybe come out with something very tangible. It has been our problem for decades, these roads. It has been there. I don't know. Whether maybe we don't have good representative from the federal government, maybe this time around. But the case of our roads is something very pathetic. It's something that I don't want to say much about it. I don't know why and how. And that is all I can say, sir.
Thank you very much. Senator Emmanuel Buacha, the Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Abubakar Yusuf, and Senator Shaibu Isalo. In that order, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sitting as the chair. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, we are in unanimous agreement to support this nominee. But let me say a few words, Mr. President and Chairman. The nominee, distinguished colleagues you see before us today, is a thoroughbred professional. Let me slightly disagree with the whip that it's not as if Engineer Mamman doesn't talk. He doesn't blab. Number two, I want to inform us the danger with most of these people that come and talk a lot. They end up being the worst ministers. That is the truth. Why? So let us apply wisdom. Oh, great. In addition, Mr. Chairman, this nominee has no PDP DNA. He is among the few, 20%, in the APC that are co-APC members, including you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not talking of those that we donated to the APC, and most of which are seated here. And you know they are faster in making noise, in a hurry to defend the APC. But the hardcore APC, we know them. Yes, like this is one of them.
We know them, like you.
This is one of them. A careful peruser at this resume reveals a lot of things. I know much about the nominee. In fact, he sits in the board of the Federal University of Ukari, whose bill, by the grace of God, will expeditiously pass on resumption, I'm sure, in September, October. So what I'm trying to say is, he is somebody that you can trust, very consistent, if it comes to schooling us in the art of loyalty. He's not a political tourist, no. I am so happy, and this is what we have presented to you as a caucus. But let me say that we have also agreed as a caucus that each and every one of us should have just one question to ask him, so that all of you will know that we are moving as a state. Okay. Our understanding was all of you to allow him bow, provided you are in agreement with us. If that is okay by you, we are happy. But not the kind of that comes from our political tourists to APC. That is not what I'm saying. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here is Engineer Saleh Mamman. Thank you very much.
Senator Yusuf, Abubakar Yusuf.
Very brief. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues. Engineer Saleh Mamman is one of us. He's a brother. He has done very, very well for the people of Taraba State. As you can see from his profile, he's an engineer, an astute one, electrical engineer. And in addition to that, he's an excellent organizer of events, organizer of resources, organizer of human resources, and what have you. So he's one of us. We cannot have a better as presented before us today. However, as my other colleagues have said, yes, he may be a slow talker. Some of us are, but he's an excellent performer. He has done very well. His record in Taraba State government over the years will show how he has performed very, very well. Politically, he has done very, very well. He contested, to be a senator, but God did not wish him to be one. But probably God wished him to be a minister in the regime of Muhammad Buhari. But what I will say, I concur with what my senior colleague has said. But what I will urge him to do, I want to pray for him so that he does not have a slip of tongue that will put him as somebody who is not loyal to Mr. President, somebody who is not loyal to the government of Nigeria, and who is not loyal to the party. I thank you very much, my colleague. I will also urge, as agreed by the whole House, we thank you, and we want to ask him to bow and go. Thank you very much.
Senator Shabi Salom.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting in a chair, my distinguished colleagues, Isa Shoaibulao, representing Taraba North. Mr. Chair, I want to first start by thanking God Almighty for this nominee. I want to thank Mr. President for finding this nominee, this loyal ANPP, CPC, and APC party loyalists to the core. Mr. President, before I go further, I want to seek and plead for your special protection and for my colleagues' protection. As I said, this nominee is my childhood friend whom we go to primary school day in, day out. He has one problem, that today, with your protection, I want him to beg for forgiveness. When we are going to primary school, Mr. Chair and my colleagues, each time we are in a class and we are given a simple arithmetic test. When I score first, after the school, he will stop on the road and start bullying me. Yeah, he was stronger than me then. I was smallish in size, but I was a class monitor. And one of the best in the class. He is a very able and competent person. He is very, very reliable. My colleagues, I want to thank you for agreeing with Taraba Caucus that this nominee takes a bow and go. Thank you.
So that he will not beat you again.
Mr. Chairman, he did not promise that he will never in his life again terrorize me. I seek your protection, Mr. President. Thank you, my colleague.
Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. Is it the wish of the Senate that he takes a bow and go? Yes. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Take a bow.
The Senate has screened Engineer Saleh Marman from Taraba State. The electrical engineer expert has a special interest in how to make sure Nigerian roads are all motorable. He is a professional to the core, just like most of the senators who know him just described. Well, he retired as an assistant director from the Taraba State government. In 2015, he contested for the Senate, but did not make it. Engineer Saleh says he is so worried about the state of some roads in the country, especially roads that link the rural and urban centers. He said he has wealth of knowledge to contribute in making sure that Nigerian roads become motorable and then are sustained. In fact, he says he's had experience when he was working with the Ministry of how it works, that he has the technical know-how to ensure that any road construction must be one that will be sustained and durable. Now he has left the chamber. Some of the senators who know him described him as a true professional who is always committed, selfless, and a pan-Nigerian. And then one significant thing they described most about him, they said he is one person that a good example of a party faithful. Now we have the next nominee for today's screening. Is a nominee from Kano State. Mohammed Sabo Nano is the next nominee coming in for screening. Mohammed Sabo Nano was born on the 11th of April 1946. He attended Zakaria and Gwazo Primary School between 1958 and 1961. Also attended Birnin Kudu Secondary School, where he obtained his West African School Certificate examination in 1966. He attended the University of Wisconsin in the United States of America, where he had his master's in public policy and administration in 1977. He also attended Harvard Business School in 1994. He had a BSc in business administration from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria.
Distinguished colleagues,
Yes, it's now set for the screening.
the next nominee is Alhaji Sabo Nanono, the nominee representing Kano State. Mr. Nominee, you are welcome to the Senate. And we have, so you can speak to your CV and those issues in your CV that you feel very strongly about that the Senate needs to take note of, you can highlight them. You can address the Senate.
Thank you very much, sir. The Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, the leaders of the Senate, my distinguished senators from Kano, Alhaji Kabir Gaya, Alhaji Barao Jibring, and Malam Ibrahim Shekarou. I will also seize this opportunity to distinguish one of my mentors and one we are in the same trade, Malam Abdullahi Adamu, as senator from Nasarawa. Distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mohammed Sabo Nanono. I was born April 1946 at Tofai, the great district of Gabasawa local government. I am married with 2 wives. I had my primary school at Zakri and Gorzo, both in Gorzo and the Gabasa local, and both in Gabasa and the Gorzo local government respectively. I had my higher school certificate at Government College Kano, from which I proceeded to ABU, where I read business administration and graduated in 1972. I had my master's degree in the University of Wisconsin-Madison, USA, in public policy and administration with specialization in development economics. I also attended the prestigious advanced management program at Harvard in May 1994. I attended various courses at World Bank Organization, at Administrative College of India, seminars on various world capital market organized by Business Research Institute International in October 1981 to 1982. Various seminars organized by Chartered Institute of Bankers Nigeria, Fellow Institute of Management Consultant, and the member Nigerian Institute of Management. I also attended the prestigious forum of Forbes Annual Forum 1997 and 1998, both at Los Angeles and Phoenix, USA. My employment record, I started with a grade C clerk with Central Bank of Nigeria, January to September 1969. Then I went as lecturer at Institute of Administration, ABU Zaria. Then from there, I resigned and joined New Nigerian Development Company in Kaduna. Thereafter, I was made Managing Director of Kano State Investment and Properties Limited under late Abubakar Rimi government. From there, I resigned, and I proceeded to Bank of North, where I grew from an assistant general manager to executive director, and I left somewhere in 1990. I was later appointed general manager and the managing director of African International Bank, respectively. I have been a member of several board companies, most of them institutional representation, but there are some that are personal representation. I think my CV has attested to that. I also serve on many committees at the state government level, Governing Council, Kano State Foundation, Subcommittee on Privatization and Commercialization, Hade Jama'ar River Basin Development Authority Commercialization, Kano State Privatization and Commercialization as chairman, member Kano State Elders Forum, chairman May 11th Crisis in Kano, and chairman Arewa Consultative Forum, Kano chapter. I have been active in politics, and as you can see, I was the chairman of CPC Elders Forum, Kano State, chairman CPC Merger Committee, chairman APC Merger Committee, deputy financial secretary and member, ACF National Working Committee, Petroleum Kano Youth Promotion Council, and so on and so on. My career in the financial institution, both development and commercial, ran a space of about 17 years. But in the year 2000, I retired to the farm, and I have been in the farming business for the last 40 or so years. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Well, before we take the questions, let me welcome members of the House of Representatives who accompanied the nominee, including, of course, the one and only Nasiru Gabasawa. Nasiru Gabasawa served in the 1999 House of Representatives, and of course he has been around. You are all welcome. Thank you. Distinguished Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting as chair. My distinguished colleagues, I am Sadiq Suleiman Umar. I represent the decent people of Kwara North. Congratulations, Mr. Nominee.
Thank you very much.
I have two questions. One, I just want to know your opinion. The other one, I want you to give us a suggestion in this country. For your opinion, do you think Nigeria is a rich country? ordinarily get less than 3% of this.
Pardon me, please.
Okay. I said that we are here that I can say that by 2050, that's a 3 people's time, Nigeria will be the most populous nation. In fact, overtaking USA and behind just China and India. Again, I'm sure Kano is going to be a champion in contributing to, that's over 400 million people in Nigeria. What?
Yeah. I think, as you rightly said, Nigeria is a great country with an enormous amount of resources. I think what is needed to move forward, one, let us have the political will and the desire to move forward. Two, let us forge unity among ourselves and organize ourselves for the challenges ahead. Three, I would like to point out, if you take the agricultural sector alone, and we organize it in the way and the manner that it can be developed, we are likely to be the richest country, at least in the West African sub-region and in the African region, and also in most of the countries in Europe. But I think our problem is to have a defined, proper political will that will assist us in moving forward. I wish to state that the GDP of this country is about 70% of the total GDP. Yeah. Of the 70% of the total GDP of the West African countries. And most of them depend on us, on food supplies and other things. In fact, it is said, for every dollar that we import things from outside, about $30 goes to the West African sub-region. So I think with the proper political will, the sky for Nigeria is the limit. Thank you very much.
Senator Eladi Sankara.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As usual, my name is Sakara, representing Jigawa now. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, our people said, if you want to know a man, or if you want to know a person, ask his neighbor. I think it happened that I'm from Jigawa State. Nano is from Kano State. I know Nano. He's a very nice person. He's a good leader. He led us since during PDP. And he achieved a lot during his activities in Kano State. Therefore, those who did not know him, they have to know the person called Nano. He's highly respected, a man of integrity. Mr. Nominee, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Can I support?
Senator Kabir Ga, Senator Baro Jibril, and Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, in that order.
Mr. President, sitting in chair, my distinguished colleagues, I am Kabir Gaya, represent the people of Kano South from Kano State. I would like to appreciate and thank President Muhammadu Buhari for choosing you to serve in this cabinet. I believe your wealth of experience will be added to the governance of this administration. Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues, this gentleman is our elder. I've learned a lot from him. When I started my politics early, he was one of my mentors. Since early 1988 when I started politics, we value him, we cherish him. Not only that, he's an alumni of ABU, an alumni of Harvard University, a lecturer in ABU area, an MD in Kano State Investment, MD African International Bank. Also, to cap it all, he's a traditional ruler. And also, Mr. President of the Senate, I'm so glad that he's a nominee. He, just like Buhari, is a non-corrupt officer or a non-corrupt person who we very value and cherish. I wish you best of luck, and I'm appealing to my colleagues to let him buy and go and serve us as the new Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Awolo Jibril.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sitting as the chairman of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. President, there's a saying that goes this way: show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. This man, the nominee, is a close associate of President Muhammadu Buhari. Therefore, I don't have to tell you what he stands for. He's a man that is upright, that has integrity, that's always passionate in serving his people. Wherever you see him, if you ask him what he's doing there, or if you find out what he's doing there, you will get to know that he's there serving his people. If you further go forward to ask, where is he coming from? You find out that he's coming from somewhere that he had to serve his people. If you also ask him or find out where he's going to, you find out that if he leaves this very point, he's going to serve his people somewhere. So he's a man that's always there to serve his people. You can see his resume, very rich. He had worked in several areas, in different capacities, where he was able to serve meritoriously. And after he sojourned in several sectors of the Nigerian economy, and he got retired, he said, look, I'm retired, but I'm not tired. He's still passionate. He's still passionate in serving his people, and he decided that he would go into agriculture, where he's working with our rural dwellers, who are peasant farmers, always rendering help to them by helping them to source for fertilizer and other farming implements that they don't have. He's a man of honor, and he's the kind of person we want to see serving the people of this country, because he's selfless. In fact, he's one of our icons. We look up to them. The young generation of our youth, our men and women in Kano, look up to them as icons, as they inspire us. Therefore, my colleagues, I don't want to bore you so much talking about this man. I'm sure, since I told you ab initio that he's a friend, an associate of our president, President Buhari, you know what he stands for. Please, I urge you to allow this selfless a man of honor, integrity, to please bow and go. I so submit. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Senator Ibrahim Shekaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sitting as chairman, my very distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, the CV of the nominee speaks for itself. He is an experienced and knowledgeable manager, the type a Jerry Ghana will say manages well. He has been managing so well, as you can see from the CV, he has been moving from one sector of the economy to another. There is no doubt that certainly this nominee, if approved, and Mr. President brings him on board into the Federal Executive Council, he will add value to the workings of Mr. President. I therefore, Mr. President, join my other colleagues in pleading with distinguished senators to grant this nominee on the basis of his experience in managing affairs of the economy of the nation, to grant him the honor of taking a bow and go. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Distinguished senators, is it the wish of this Senate that the nominee takes a bow and go? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Take a bow.
Nano from Kano State has been screened by the Senate. He's now trying to leave the red chamber. Well, this nominee particularly is interested in agricultural revolution. He says that Nigeria has the potential of being world's richest country with agriculture. Yeah, he was able to explain that with the proper political will, that Nigeria has a very wide range of economic prosperity, that a tendency for Nigeria to become so rich is there, in respect of its fertile land and weather. He's been assisting rural farmers to improve on their agricultural production. Yeah, it is there. And some of the senators who spoke also concurred. Some of them who knew him says, some of them who know him says he's been a committed party faithful, and also he's been a committed professional. Some of them described him as an incorruptible and upright Nigerian. Well, some of them said he's a very close friend of the president, and so one had to say that birds of the same feather, they say flocks together. I said yes, that his incorruptible nature, it's what endeared him to the president. Well, they said it's a very good choice, that if he is made part of the Federal Executive Council, not only will he improve the agricultural state of the nation, he will also assist the president in the fight against corruption, since he too has zero tolerance for corruption. Well, they say he's an experienced and good manager of material and human resources. He's now out of the red chamber, and then we expect the last nominee to be screened. Any moment from now, the nominee will come in, and here comes the last nominee to be screened from Kwara State, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. He's now entering the red chamber. As usual, being ushered in by the Presidential Senior Special Assistant on National Assembly Matters. Alhaji Lai Mohammed was born on the 6th of December 1951 in Oro, Kwara State. He attended Government College Kefi between 1964 and 1968. Government Secondary School Okene between 1969 and 1970. He also attended the University of Ife. Alhaji Lai Mohammed is the former Publicity Secretary to the All Progressives Congress and Chief of Staff to Lagos State Governor between 1999 to 2002. He is the immediate past Minister of Information and Culture. A very vibrant public servant, a very dedicated politician. He's now on the podium to receive questions from the senators.
Distinguished colleagues, the nominee on the podium is the former Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Alhaji Lai Mohammed represents Kwara State. Alhaji Mohammed, on behalf of all my colleagues here, I want to welcome you to the Senate. And we have copies of your CV before us. You can still highlight anything that you feel needs special attention in the CV, or indeed anything that you might have omitted but is of significance for this exercise. Before you address the Senate, let me recognize the presence of His Excellency, the Governor of Kwara State, and of course, someone who once served in this Senate, Senator Samuel Jibola, who is also on this delegation, and stalwarts of the ruling party, who are also on this entourage and delegation. The nominee, you can address the Senate. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Senate President, Your Excellency, the Deputy Senate President, principal officers of the Senate, distinguished senators, and in particular, the three senators representing Kwara State, namely Senator Dr. Yahya Odoliegbe, Senator Sadiq Umar, and the senator representing my own senatorial district, Senator Architect Lola Ashiru. Permit me first to thank Almighty Allah that has made me witness today. And I also want to put on record my appreciation to my governor, who is here with me, but more importantly, my gratitude to Mr. President, who has deemed it fit to once again nominate me as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My pledge to Mr. President and Nigeria is that if I'm confirmed as a minister I will redouble my effort in the service of my country to justify its confidence in me. Your Excellency, Mr. Senate President, there's only one small issue I want to draw your attention to in my CV. It's about my name. My name, as it appears on your CV, is my correct name, which is Lai Mohammed. Please don't believe what they say on the social media. They call me all sorts of names there. I used to ignore it until one day when my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, "Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why would they call you Liar Mohammed?" I looked at him. What do you say to a 7-year-old son? How do you explain politics to him? So I said, "No, don't mind them. They are the bad guys." He said, "You mean like Joker, like Bane, and I think another name?" I had no idea what he meant, but I said yes. Later, I found out that those names were actually the names of their cartoon bad guys. So I thank you very much, Mr. President and the distinguished members. I'm ready for your questions. Thank you very much.
Senator Ibikule Amosun.
Mr. President, Assistant and Chair, distinguished colleagues, my name is Ibikunle Amosun. I represent Ogun Central. Mr. President, let me thank you. It gives me great pleasure to be given this opportunity to speak about Egbon Lai Mohammed. The gentleman in front of us needs little or no introduction. He's a lawyer. He's so many things rolled into one. But the one I will want to dwell on this afternoon is the fact that this is somebody that has selflessly served us as a nation. He has served our party. He's a very, very fiercely loyal party man. And you heard him when he was even talking here. He has carried the can severally. Governance is a very difficult job, and it's a thankless job. He's been vilified. You will hear a lot of things about him. But one thing you cannot take away from him is the fact that whatever assignment that is given, you will see him serving diligently, loyally too. So, distinguished colleagues, we have talked among ourselves here. I know my brothers from the northwest, from Kwara, they will feel that, oh, why are we saying this? But we met ourselves and we all agreed that Alhaji Lai Mohammed should be allowed, really. Everybody I know is a lawyer, tested, trusted. In fact, there is no discipline. There is no discipline that we want to take him on that he will not be able to thoroughly discharge himself. So I don't think we should indeed begin to belabor and be asking questions. So he deserved to be asked to take a bow and go. He has done his bit and he will continue to do his bit. So let me congratulate you for well-deserved renomination. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Senator Aliyu Magatakardama Moko.
Mr. President, serving as chair, I wish to concur with the last speaker on what affects the nominee before the Senate today. Lai Mohammed can be said by instant as an achiever. As our spokesman for the party, he did excellently well. And as Minister of the government of our federation of this country, last 4 years, did wonderfully well, extremely well. So much so that I want to appeal to our colleagues to consider the service this gentleman to us, what he has done officially and privately, and allow him to take a bow and go. As was submit, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Bamidele Opeyemi Michael.
Mr. President, seated as the chair, distinguished colleagues, I am Michael Opeyemi Bamidele, representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District. I want to thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to also contribute. And I listened to the first two speakers, my leaders, former governor, chieftains of the ruling party that has also produced me. And of course, what I would like to emphasize, Mr. President, is that the nominee standing before us here today represents two things that Nigerians will be happy to see. One, a litmus test to our distinguished colleagues from the minority parties, because more than anyone, Mr. Chairman, Alhaji Lai Mohammed was on the firing line as a politician, as a party man, as the spokesperson of the party. He managed a very difficult transition process, which for the first time in this country, changed a lot of things. The reason, part of the reason, Mr. Chairman, that you and I, and many of us here, can be seen as gentlemen by our distinguished colleagues from the minority party is because we didn't have cause to call them names. We didn't have cause to say anything to them. We would always, be friendly with ourselves. Because Lai Mohammed had to do the job for everybody. Sir, in the spirit of the new understanding, and what Nigerians have witnessed in the last 1 week on the floor of this parliament, there cannot be a better proof on the part of our distinguished colleagues on the other side than to encourage. Of course, if Alhaji Lai Mohammed said he had suffered some reputation problem in court, it was to be expected. And standing before all of us today, I know is an extreme gentleman, a gentleman of gentlemen. For 4 years, Mr. Chairman, I was privileged to serve with Alhaji Lai Mohammed under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor of Lagos State. He was part of the blueprint that was developed for the state. And I tell you, sir, even in the next 20 years, it doesn't matter who is governor of Lagos State, you only need to be civilized and decent. There's a blueprint developed under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that will make anyone shine as governor. Sir, standing before us here is a brilliant gentleman. He was at the University of Ife, he had a second-class upper. He was at the University of Lagos, he had a second-class upper. He was at the Nigerian Law School, he had a second-class upper. He's a journalist, he's a lawyer, he's a party man, a party administrator. And as a public servant, he has done well. He also had to manage information, two difficult jobs. He managed information for a party that was struggling to take over. And managing information in a period of regime change is something that will not make anyone look good to the other side. And beyond that, you also have to manage information for a government that was coming to fight corruption, to do a lot of things. It wasn't an enviable assignment. But here he is, standing. I just want to say, sir, that President Buhari saw the need to compensate this gentleman by ensuring that based on his academic qualification and his pedigree, he's offered a platform to serve in public service. And this distinguished Senate, 4 years ago, confirmed him. I am joining the first two speakers and providing a basis beyond being a gentleman to say this distinguished Senate found Alhaji Lai Mohammed fit and proper to serve in the cabinet of the government of this country 4 years ago. And today, even in the spirit of the new understanding, in the spirit of the bipartisan interaction that is in overriding public interest, and in the best interest, of our nation, that I know at the end of the day we'll be proud and we'll be, in another 4 years, we'll have something to show for what is happening here and for this new understanding. I just want to say that I join the first two speakers and let Alhaji Lai Mohammed take a bow and go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Ahmed Sani Musa.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, my distinguished colleagues, I stand to eulogize Alhaji Lai Mohammed for being a true Nigerian. I came across Lai Mohammed when he was nobody, and I was struggling, and he stood by me. Personally, I want to use this opportunity to let my other colleagues know how compassionate this gentleman is when it comes to reasoning. Because I was detained, and while I was detained, nobody knew where I was. And my younger brother got to him, and he said, no way. He started pursuing this thing up to the extent of getting to the Undersecretary of African Affairs in the United States. And they intervened just because of this gentleman, and I was released. So I will want to use this opportunity to thank you, and thank you more for the job you have done to this country. There is no better information manager that will have managed the transition in 2015 than you, and you have done it very well. I wish to call on my colleagues to give this gentleman the honor he deserved by towing the line of my other colleagues that have spoken earlier, to tell this gentleman to take a bow and go. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Senators Ibrahim Oloragbe, Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar, and Lola Ashur, in that order.
Mr. President, sitting as the chair of the Committee of the Whole, highly respected distinguished colleagues, my name is Ibrahim Yahya Oloriegbe. I represent the people of Kwara State. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, let me start by appreciating every member of these chambers, particularly those who have spoken about our leader, who is a nominee here, and to appreciate and thank Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for finding it worthy to nominate the nominee, and particularly to thank him also for recognizing our special need in Kwara by providing us and giving us 2 ministerial nominees, and for you, our colleagues, for supporting us on the 2 nominees. I wouldn't want to waste our time. I wouldn't want to speak on most of the public knowledge about the nominee, Alhaji Rauf Olaiwola Mohammed. But to underscore what some of us here may not know about him again, we as Kwarans, it's a public knowledge in Nigeria that when the history of democracy will be written in Nigeria, particularly the 2019 election, Kwara is a special case. Kwara was a state in Nigeria that everybody looked up to, and Kwara came up
to define the true meaning of democracy as the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Because the people took their destiny into their hands to liberate themselves. And they came with a mantra, which everybody knows in Nigeria as Otoge. And that mantra, as well as the movement came about, when the whole government, from local government to the federal level, the elected people, with the exception of 4 councillors out of 183, 1 House of Assembly member, moved to another party. The gentleman before us remained the highest political office holder in Kwara State. Hence, he became the leader of the party. He demonstrated certain qualities that are unusual and uncommon. One, he had the opportunity to say he wants to be anything as far as elected office is concerned. But he took leadership to say what is most important is Kwara. He said, I'm not going to contest for anything. We'll create opportunity and level playing ground. What we need is to lead the people to be able to achieve their aims. So he was selfless, he was humane, and he demonstrated humility. And that's why we are able to produce a complete winning of all positions in Kwara for the party. Kwara, as I speak today, despite what we lost in 2015, we have all the councillors, we have all House of Assembly members, and all National Assembly members, due to the leadership provided by Alhaji Lai Mohammed. He was selfless, he was humane, and was simple. So therefore, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I join and thank my other previous colleagues, and thank you sincerely for the honor you have done us, and you have done Kwara. And he has demonstrated here. You can see our governor is here. We have almost all members of House of Rep, and we have several leaders of Kwara. We are one in Kwara, and we are united. And through your support in confirming him and the other nominee, we continue to assure Nigerians that Kwara will demonstrate to Nigeria the true meaning of democracy. Mr. President, thank you very much for honoring us to accept that Alhaji Lai Mohammed takes a bow and go. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar.
Mr. President, sitting as chair of the Committee of the Whole, my most distinguished colleagues, I am Sadiq Suleiman Umar. I represent the decent people of Kwara North. Mr. Nominee, congratulations for Mr. President to have found you worthy to come and work with him again. Let me say something that is very important that most people don't take note of. Running up to 2019 election, when the body politic temperature was rising, Alhaji Lai Mohammed responded with higher sense of restraint and maturity. His responses were measured instead of proportional, which is typical of powerful persons. And he was powerful. He was in a powerful position, but he exercised restraint, which dropped the temperature of the body politic at that time. Thank you very much for that service to our nation. Mr. President, I stand proudly here today to present our product, who is a full package. Yes, it's a complete package, full option. Somebody said earlier, he's a brilliant lawyer, a brilliant linguist, and a brilliant PR professional. And it's evident, all universities said it. His minimum standard is second class upper. That is not more. And it's important, this picture comes out clearly, so that the younger generation should know that excellence is celebrated in Nigeria. Having said this, Mr. President, in fact, I'm tempted to say that every senator seated here should ask our nominee at least three questions, because he will answer any question. In fact, even impossible questions, he will answer it. However, because of the fundamental fact that if there is any Nigerian that has been interviewed, interrogated, questioned the most, it is Alhaji Lai Mohammed. So what are we going to ask him again? Mr. President, I ask the Senate to ask him to take a bow and go. Thank you.
Senator Lola Ashru.
Mr. President,
we thank Almighty God for bringing us close to the end of this screening. And we are lucky at the end of it to have somebody like Alhaji Lai Mohammed as the last person. In the Bible, it said, the last in the kingdom of God will be the first. And in the Quran too, we all know the meaning of the last prophet, the seal of all prophethood. I'm happy today that we are having our man, a man of meritorious service, who has served Nigeria in all capacity, who has served our great party, APC, as the spokesperson. We are lucky to have him today as the nominee of Mr. President. And I am very, very confident, just like he did in the first time, he will do better now. I know Alhaji Lai Mohammed very well. We share the same senatorial district. In fact, his term is still thrown for my term. Oro is regarded as a citadel in Kwara State. It's like Rome. And Alhaji Lai Mohammed is like her. So thank you very much.
Favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Take a bow.
And that is the last screening of the ministerial nominees, and the last person that was just screened by the Senate is Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the immediate past Minister of Information and Culture and National Orientation. Well, the screening of this immediate past Minister of Information turned into a somewhat commendation session. Well, people of Kwara State have exhibited their full support for their illustrious son. You can see the governor of Kwara State behind him was in the chamber to see things for himself, plus other dignitaries from Kwara State. Well, he has assured Senate and Nigerians that this reappointment, that he will redouble his efforts in the service to the nation. Some senators who spoke to as well, some of them described him as a selfless Nigerian, that his service as a Minister of Information in the last 4 years was quite exceptional. They called him the manager of information. They also described him as humane. Some described him as an intelligent and patriotic Nigerian who is very selfless in all his dealings, especially in his national positions. Now, this brings to an end the screening session.
And we'll go to the approval of nominees now. And I will put the questions on all the 43 nominees, one after the other. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Dr. Uke Chukwu Oga. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Senator George Akume? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Senator Goswill Akpabio? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Honorable Emeka Nwajuba? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Honorable Rotimi Amechi? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Dr. Oboneya Onu? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Senator Adeleke Mamora? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Architect Olamileko Adegbite? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Adamu? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Sharon Ekezo? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Senator Tayo Alashadura? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mustafa Baba Shehuri? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Abubakar D. Aliyu? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, retired? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Timi Pre Silva? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Ramatu Tijani? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Richard Adeni Adebayo? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Ambassador Zubairu Dada? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Chris Ingige? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mohammed Abdullahi? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mr. Sunday Dare? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Muhammad Musa Bello. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Saadia Umar Farouk? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Abubakar Malami? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Senator Hadi Sirika? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Sage Henry? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Festus Keyamo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Pauline Talen? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Ali Isa Ibrahim Pantami? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Muhammad Maigari Dingeti? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Babatunde Raji Fashola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Muhammad Mahmoud? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Senator Bemishola Saraki? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Ogbeni Rauf Aragbeshola? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Gwadi J.D. Agba? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Engineer Suleiman H. Adamu? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Ambassador Mariam Katagum? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Clement Agba? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Geoffrey Enyama? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Engineer Saleh Mamman? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Sabo Nano? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Alhaji Lai Mohammed? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. President, sitting in the chair, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, having come this far and discharge our constitutional and national responsibilities, I would like to move that the chair move to plenary to report progress. I so move, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. However, reluctantly, I second the motion that, because I don't want us to finish, I want us to continue. I do second the motion, ably moved by the majority leader.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Now the Senate has concluded the approval of the screening exercise and the Committee of the Whole. The Senate President has now climbed up to the Senate President's seat, where he is, any moment from now, the confirmation of these nominees will commence proper. Well, the screening process took place in the Committee of the Whole, where they are asked questions and then question and answer sessions. And then after that, whatever that took place in the Committee of the Whole must be approved by the Senate. And then that approval comes after the President of the Senate reads each and every one of them, the nominees, and respect of the screening. So what that implies is that the Senate has now agreed, that is the parliamentary word approval, has now agreed that these are the nominees that were screened during the screening process in the Committee of the Whole. So now, since that one has been approved, it's like a report of the committee, just like Senate approves reports of their various standing committees. After approval, consideration, after consideration, it will be approved. And then that's exactly what is playing out here. The screening exercise, the various screening exercise of the 43 nominees, all of them have been approved by the Senate. That the senators have agreed that the 43 nominees have been screened. And then the next thing that is now remaining is confirmation. And confirmation is the last stage in this oversight function of the National Assembly, Senate in particular. It's a very significant exercise, a constitutional exercise for that matter. So now we expect that any moment from now, the Senate will confirm the 43 nominees and they become the ministers of the Federal Republic.
The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, resume consideration of the request of Mr. Presidency in C for the confirmation of nominees for appointments as ministers of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nominees answered questions from distinguished senators on a number of topical issues. The nominees screened and approved are Dr. Ukechukwu Oga, Abia State, Senator George Akume, Benue State, Senator Goswill Akpabio, Akwa Ibom State, Honorable Emeka Onwajuba, Imo State, Rotimi Amechi, Rivers State, Dr. Obone Onu, Ebonyi State, Senator Adeleke O. Mamora, Lagos State, Architect Olamilekon Adegbite, Ogun State, Adamu Bauchi State, Sharon Ikezo, Anambra State, Senator Tayo D. Alashadura, Ondo State, Mustafa Babashehuri, Borno State, Abubakar D. Aliyu, Yobe State, Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, retired, Kano State, Timipre Silva, Belsa State, Ramatu Tijani, Kogi State, Otumba Richard Adeni Adebayo, Ekiti State, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, Niger State, Dr. Chris Ingige, Anambra State, Mohammed H. Abdullah, Nasarawa State, Sunday Dare, Oyo State, Muhammad Musa Bello, Adamawa State, Sadia Umar Farouk, Zamfara State, Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, Kaduna State, Abubakar Malami, Kebbi State, Senator Hadi Sirika, Katsina State, Dr. Osage Henere, Edo State, Festus Kiamo, SAN, Delta State, Pauline Talen, Plateau State, Dr. Ali Isa Ibrahim Pantami, Gombe State, Muhammadu Maigali Dingyadi, Sokoto State, Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, Lagos State, Dr. Muhammad Mahmoud, Kaduna State, Senator Bemishola Saraki, Kwara State, Ogbeni Rauf Farag Bishola, Osun State, Godi Jedi Agba, Cross River State, Engineer Suleiman H. Adamu, Jigawa State, Ambassador Mariam Katagum, Bauchi State, Clement Agba, Edo State, Geoffrey Enyema, Enugu State, Engineer Saleh Mamman, Taraba State, Sabo Nanono, Kano State, and Lai Mohammed, Kwara State, as ministers of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? We're going to confirmation now. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Ukechukwu Oga as Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Ukechukwu Oga is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator George Akume as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator George Akume is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator Goswill Akpabio as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator Goswill Akpabio is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Honorable Emeka Nwajuba as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Honorable Emeka Nwajuba is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Rotimi Amechi as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Rotimi Amechi is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Obone Onu as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Obone Onu is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator Adeleke O. Mamora as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator Adeleke O. Mamora is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Architect Olamilekun Adegbite as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Architect Olamilekun Adegbite is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Adamu as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Adamu is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Sharon Ikezu as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Sharon Ikezu is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator Tayo D. Alashadura as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator Tayo D. Alashadura is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mustafa Babashehuri as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mustafa Babashehuri is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Abubakar D. Aliyu as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Abubakar D. Aliyu is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Temipre Silva as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Temipre Silva is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Ramatu Tijani as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Ramatu Tijani is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Otumba Richard Adeni Adebayo as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Otumba Richard Adeni Adebayo is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Ambassador Zubairi Dada as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Ambassador Zubairi Dada is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Chris Ngige as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Chris Ngige is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mohammed Abdullahi as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mohammed H. Abdullahi is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Sunday Dare as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Sunday Dare is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Muhammad Musa Bello as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Muhammadu Musa Bello is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Sadia Umar Farouk as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Sadia Umar Farouk is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Abubakar Malami as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Abubakar Malami is hereby confirmed as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator Hadi Sirika as a minister of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator Hadi Sirika is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Osage Henare as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Osage Henare is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Festus Keyamo, SAN, as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Festus Keyamo, SAN, is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Pauline Talen as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Pauline Talen is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Ali Isa Ibrahim Pantami as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Ali Isa Ibrahim Pantami is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Muhammadu Maigari Dengyadi as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Muhammadu Maigari Dengyadi is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Babatunde Raji Fashola as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Babatunde Raji Fashola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Muhammad Mahmoud as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Muhammad Mahmoud is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Bemishola Saraki as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Bemishola Saraki is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Ogbeni Rauf Aregbishola as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Beni Rauf Aregbishola is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Godi J.D. Agba as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Godi J.D. Agba is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Engineer Suleiman H. Adamu as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Engineer Suleiman H. Adamu is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Ambassador Mariam Katagum as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Ambassador Mariam Katagum is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Clement Agba as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Clement Agba is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Geoffrey Onyema as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. the nomination of Geoffrey Enyama is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Engineer Asala Mamman as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Engineer Asala Mamman is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Sabo Nano as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Sabo Nano is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Lai Mohammed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Lai Mohammed is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired? Well, distinguished colleagues, we have come to the end of the screening exercise, and let me thank everyone who has been able to be here. This is devotion to duty, patriotism, and the Senate has demonstrated clearly that we are set to work for Nigerians. There is no doubt the extension of time that ordinarily would have been part of our recess to stay back to do this job shows our commitment to duty, our commitment to our country. And as of today, we have finished this very important national assignment, and to the glory of God, Nigerians have a Senate and indeed a National Assembly that is prepared to take Nigeria to the next level. For those that have been confirmed by this Senate, the message is they must be prepared to work with the Senate and indeed the National Assembly. As we are prepared to work with the executive arm of government, they are the implementers of government programs and projects. We are going to engage them in our oversights and other legislative activities. What we want to achieve is to have a relationship that is based on mutual respect and truth. Once a minister is invited for oversight or any committee activity, I would advise that such a minister attends to the committee, because we mean well for this country. Time should have been over for people to be invited and not to appear before National Assembly committees. While we are not going to be frivolous, we are going to be firm, we are going to be serious with our oversight. Oversight is the only way to ensure that those legislations that we make here, particularly the budget that we pass, is implemented particularly. And this is the only way to make Nigeria better. And with this, I want to congratulate the President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for really nominating Nigerians of great quality, Nigerians of great experience, and very good backgrounds. The current ministers that have just been confirmed to be appointed by or sworn in by Mr. President have demonstrated throughout the period of this screening that they are worth their onions. I believe that they should be tasked. Once they are given their portfolios, they must have their tasks cut out clearly for them. And with National Assembly that is poised to work with the executive, I'm sure taking Nigeria to the next level will not be difficult. Let me finally thank my colleagues once again for this show of commitment, show of loyalty and love of country. We have done ourselves, I'm sure, pride by staying back to do this work, even though we still have some other issues to be addressed as soon as we come back. We will be going on recess and return sometimes in September. We expect to face the budget. It is our desire and hope that the budget appropriation bill 2020 will be presented to this National Assembly at the end of September or late the first week of October. It is our determination and resolve that we are able to work on the budget, and before Christmas, we should be able to pass the budget, provided it is in the National Assembly at the end of September or the first week of October. It is doable, it is achievable, and we believe that Nigeria should return to January to December budget cycle. Let our economy have predictable parameters. At the moment, I think there is difficulty understanding what the Nigerian economy really is, because our budget implementation is in chaos, is in tatters, and I believe that we can, together with the executive, return it to that cycle that is predictable and good for business, both domestic and international. My colleagues, finally, we will sit, we'll adjourn briefly, and then come back to pass the votes and proceedings, so that what we have done today could be useful to the executive arm of government. So I'll call the leader to adjourn for just 1 hour to enable the Secretariat work out the votes and proceedings, and we come back at 3 o'clock to adopt the votes and proceedings, and then we go on our recess by the grace of God. Leader of the Senate. The Senate, one hour.
For the first time.
Thank you, Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues. Having come to the conclusion of today's proceedings on the order paper, I hereby move that the Senate adjourn for 1 hour and resume at 3 o'clock on Tuesday, today, July 30th, 2019 at 3 p.m. prompt. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I second the motion that we adjourn and resume at 3 p.m. prompt.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
And that ends the screening and confirmation exercise by the Senate. All the 43 ministerial nominees have been confirmed by the Senate, and now they can be rightly referred to as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, the Senate President, while congratulating them, advised them to be very committed and to ensure that they support President Muhammadu Buhari in his efforts to better the lot of Nigerians. He also urged them to always respond to any invitation by the National Assembly. Well, he commended President Muhammadu Buhari for appointing men and women of capacity to make a difference for the nation. He also commended senators for having accepted to postpone their recess for this national assignment. And he hopes that the 2020 budget will be passed before the end of December if the budget is presented on time by the executive. And then, well, this marks the end of the screening and confirmation exercise. Well, the Senate has just performed one important part of their constitutional role as provided in Section 147, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Well, the Senate has now adjourned to reconvene 1 hour later, that's by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to approve the votes and proceedings of today, because the Senate will be adjourning today for its annual recess. So if it doesn't approve the vote and proceedings of today, it will now take time. That will be when they reconvene. So therefore, they have to approve the votes and proceedings today, so that by the time they adjourn, they will now reconvene on the date of the end of the recess. And then from then, we can now say today, the screening and confirmation of the ministerial nominees have come to an end. I am Ignatius Nko, and on behalf of the Outside Broadcast crew, I say bye for now as we hand you over to our studios to continue with the scheduled program for the day.